I want you to look at these two people. One of them has been working since 5 a.m. His hands are calloused, his back aches. He'll go home exhausted, eat dinner, and do it all again tomorrow. For 30 years. The other one just signed a piece of paper. It took her 7 seconds. She just made more money than the first man will make this entire year. Now, and this is the part that keeps me up at night. Who worked harder? The man on the left, obviously, by every physical measure. But I, money, don't respond to effort. I don't care about your sore muscles or your long hours. I respond to value. And the difference between these two people isn't their work ethic. It's the decisions they made 5, 10, 20 years ago. You've probably heard people say there are 4 or 5 reasons smart decisions beat hard work. I've been watching humans trade me for 6,000 years, ever since I was a shekel of silver in Mesopotamia, and I'm here to tell you there are at least 12 distinct, measurable ways that smart decisions generate more of me than hard work ever could. If you're someone who's been told, just work harder your entire life, and you're starting to suspect that's a trap, hit subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, because I'm about to hand you the keys to a completely different kind of wealth. I'm money. I spend my entire life moving through people's hands, wallets, and bank accounts, and I see the same financial mistakes over and over again. And the biggest mistake? Thinking I'm a wage. Thinking I'm something you earn hour by hour like a factory shift. I'm not. I'm a consequence, a result, an echo of decisions made months or years ago. Let's start with the factors everyone knows. They're not wrong, they're just incomplete. Think of them as the foundation. Then, I'm going to add 8 floors on top. The foundation. Factors you already know. Factor 1, leverage. Here's the thing about hard work. It's linear. 1 hour in, 1 unit out. That's the deal. You've accepted it your whole life. Leverage breaks that deal. Leverage lets me work while you sleep. Lets 1 hour of effort generate 10, 100, 1,000 hours of return. 3 kinds. First, capital leverage. You buy a rental property. I, your money, am now working 24/7 in the form of a tenant's rent check. You buy a $200,000 duplex with $40,000 down. Each tenant pays $1,200 a month. That's $2,400 total. Mortgage is $1,400. You keep $1,000 every month without lifting a finger. That $40,000 you worked hard to save, it now generates $12,000 a year, a 30% return. Name me a wage that grows at 30% annually. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have $40,000. I know, that's the trap. You think leverage requires wealth. Actually, leverage creates wealth. You start smaller. A duplex becomes a fourplex. A fourplex becomes an apartment building, but only if you start. I've seen this happen thousands of times. The people who eventually own the buildings aren't the ones who inherited the most of me. They're the ones who understood that I'm a seed, not a trophy. Second, technological leverage. You write a piece of software once. I replicate myself infinitely, at near zero cost, every time someone downloads it. A farmer in 1800 could feed 4 people with a season's labor. A software engineer today can serve 4 million people with an afternoon's work. Same effort, different leverage. And here's what most people don't realize. Technological leverage isn't just for engineers anymore. A YouTuber records once, millions watch. A writer publishes once, millions read. A barista, still trading 1 cup at a time. Third, delegation leverage. You pay someone $20 an hour to do tasks that free you up to do work worth $200 an hour. This isn't exploitation, it's arbitrage. You're trading less valuable hours for more valuable ones. I know what you're thinking. I can't afford to hire anyone, or it's faster if I just do it myself.
Both are true in the moment, but you're not optimizing for the moment, you're optimizing for the lifetime. Let's do the math you don't do. You spend 10 hours a week on tasks worth $20 an hour. That's $200 of your time. You hire someone for $25 an hour to do them. Costs you $250. You lose $50, right? Wrong. Those 10 hours are now free. You fill them with $100 an hour work. That's $1,000. Net gain, $750 every week. The barrier isn't money, it's ego. It's the belief that doing it yourself is virtuous. It's not. It's expensive. Leverage, capital, technology, people. The first factor. Now you know.
Factor 2. Scalability versus linearity. Hard work is a bucket. You fill it, you empty it, you fill it again. Every day, the same bucket. Smart decisions build pipes. When you create a product, a book, a course, a piece of code, a franchise system, you build it once and connect it to an endless water source. I flow through that pipe continuously. The musician who wrote Happy Birthday died 40 years ago. That song still earns $2 million annually in royalties. She's not working. I am. Not everything can scale. A haircut can't scale. A surgery can't scale. A latte can't scale. But the systems around them can. The booking software, the training program, the franchise model. Here's the question you should ask yourself. What am I building that works whether I'm awake or asleep? Most people never ask this question, so they spend their lives filling buckets and wondering why they're always thirsty. Factor 3. Strategic positioning. Being in the right place at the right time isn't luck, it's positioning, and positioning is a decision. I've watched 2 welders graduate trade school. One takes a job at a local fabrication shop for $25 an hour. The other takes an underwater welding certification course, 6 months, $15,000 in debt, and now makes $200 an hour repairing oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico. Same skill, same effort, different position. The second welder didn't work harder. He worked smarter by asking, where is money flowing and how do I get in that current? Factor 4. Compound interest. Compound interest isn't just about money growing, it's about time arbitrage. A $20 bill invested at 10% annual return for 40 years becomes $905. That same $20 hidden in a sock drawer is still $20. I don't age, I don't decay, I just wait. Smart decisions put me somewhere I can multiply. Hard work puts me somewhere I can be spent. Those are the 4 everyone talks about. They're real, they work, but they're also the entry level. Now let me show you what most people don't see. Factor 5. Decision compounding. Here's what most people don't realize. Decisions don't just compound financially, they compound opportunistically. Every smart decision you make creates options you didn't have before, and options are the currency of the wealthy. Example, you decide to learn basic accounting. That decision leads to a job as a bookkeeper. That job exposes you to a client who needs operations help. You take that role, learn supply chains, and later start a logistics company. The initial decision, learning debit and credit, paid off 1,000 times over. But not directly. It paid off by unlocking doors that led to hallways, that led to rooms you couldn't even see from where you started. Hard work pays you once. Smart decisions pay you by changing who you are and what opportunities you can access. Factor 6. Risk asymmetry. This is a big one. Hard work typically involves symmetric risk. You put in 10 hours, you get 10 hours of pay. Your downside is wasted time. Your upside is capped. Smart decisions seek asymmetric risk, small downside, massive upside. I watched a woman spend $500 to build a website for her dog walking business. Worst case, she's out $500. Best case, the website ranks on Google, brings in 50 new clients, and generates $50,000 in revenue. That's a 100 times return. Hard work doesn't offer 100 times returns, ever, because hard work is linear. Asymmetric returns come from decisions, from placing small bets with large, uncapped potential. Factor 7. Knowledge compounding. Money compounds at 7 to 10% annually in the stock market. Knowledge compounds at much higher rates. Every hour you spend learning a valuable skill increases the value of every future hour of work. If you learn to code, you don't just earn more for that specific project, you permanently upgrade your hourly rate for the rest of your career. This is the meta skill, learning how to learn. Hard work applies existing skills. Smart decisions build new skills that make all future work more valuable. Factor 8. Network effects. Hard work builds reputation. Smart decisions build networks. Reputation says, this person does good work. That's valuable. But networks say, this person knows people who do good work, and those people trust them, and now opportunities flow through them. When you introduce two people who later start a business together, you've created value that didn't exist before. That value flows back to you in referrals, in partnership opportunities, in access to deals that never hit the open market. I've watched people make millions simply by connecting other people who needed each other. That's not hard work. That's social arbitrage, and it generates more of me than any 80-hour work week ever could. Factor 9. Timing versus effort. Effort is always visible. Timing is invisible until after the fact. Two farmers plant identical crops. One plants in March, the other in April. The March farmer works just as hard, but his crop is ready for market 2 weeks earlier when prices are 30% higher. Same labor, different timing. Smart decisions recognize that when you act is often more important than how hard you act. Buying a house in 2019 versus 2020, learning video editing in 2005 versus 2015, entering a career field at its inflection point, not its saturation point. Hard work can't fix bad timing. Smart decisions can't always predict timing perfectly, but they can position you to benefit from volatility rather than be crushed by it.
Factor 10. Emotional capital preservation. Here's one nobody talks about. Hard work consumes emotional energy. Smart decisions preserve it. Bad decisions don't just cost you money, they cost you attention, focus, and peace of mind, and these are not infinite resources. I've watched a man earn $200,000 a year, but spend 40% of his mental bandwidth fighting with his ex-wife over child support and property division. His poor decision to marry the wrong person and his worse decision not to get a prenup cost him more in lost earning potential than the alimony payments themselves. Every hour spent stressed about debt is an hour not spent on creative work. Every sleepless night over a toxic business partner is a morning of low productivity. Smart decisions don't just preserve capital, they preserve cognitive capacity, which is the raw material of all future earnings. Factor 11. Optionality. Hard work commits you. Smart decisions keep doors open. The person who lives below their means doesn't just have savings, they have optionality. They can quit a job they hate. They can start a business with a 2-year runway. They can take a sabbatical to learn a new skill. The person who spends everything they earn has no options. They're trapped. Their hard work isn't building freedom, it's building golden handcuffs. I've never met a wealthy person who prioritized consumption over optionality. They understand that keeping me around isn't hoarding, it's strategic patience. It's waiting for the right opportunity, the right partnership, the right market conditions.
Factor 12. Systematization of luck.
This is the master factor. Hard work waits for luck. Smart decisions systematize it. What do I mean? Luck isn't random when you engineer for it. If you publish content consistently for 5 years, you're not lucky when one piece goes viral. You've increased your surface area for luck. If you attend one networking event per week for a decade, you're not lucky when a major investor sits next to you at a conference. You've created density in your opportunity space. Smart people don't hope for lucky breaks. They build systems that generate more attempts, more product launches, more content pieces, more connections, more experiments. They understand that while any single attempt has low odds of success, a portfolio of attempts has near certain odds of at least one success. Hard work is grinding the same slot machine. Smart decisions are buying more machines.
So let's look at the full picture. Not 4 factors, not 5, 12. The foundation, what everyone knows. Leverage, multiplying effort through capital, technology, and people. Scalability, building once, selling infinitely. Strategic positioning, placing yourself in high-value currents. Compound interest, letting time work for you. The expansion, what most people miss. Decision compounding, choices that create more choices. Risk asymmetry, small downside, unlimited upside. Knowledge compounding, skills that upgrade all future work. Network effects, value created through connection. Timing arbitrage, when matters as much as how. Emotional capital preservation, protecting your cognitive bandwidth. Optionality, keeping doors open through strategic patience. Systematized luck, engineering probability in your favor. Here's what I need you to understand. I am not a reward for suffering. I don't care how tired you are, how early you wake up, how many weekends you sacrifice. The universe doesn't keep a tally of your efforts and pay you accordingly. I respond to value creation, and value creation is a function of decisions, not duration. The hardest working people I meet are often the poorest. They're running on a hamster wheel of linear exchange, trading irreplaceable hours for replaceable dollars. Meanwhile, people who work less but work smarter are building systems, networks, and knowledge that generate me in exponentially increasing quantities. This isn't fair. I know it isn't fair, but fairness isn't the game. The game is understanding how I actually behave, then positioning yourself accordingly. You don't have to choose between hard work and smart decisions. The wisest hands I passed through did both. They worked hard while they worked smart, but they never confused effort with effectiveness. So here's my challenge to you. Look at your life. Where are you trading hours for dollars? Where are you grinding on a linear treadmill? And where could you replace 1 hour of effort with one decision that keeps paying you for years? Start there. Just one decision, one system, one door left open. And if you want me, money, to explain more of the hidden rules, subscribe. Hit the bell, because I remember every hand I've passed through, every decision made with me, every moment I was wasted versus every moment I was deployed strategically. Make me proud. Make me work for you. And for once, stop working so hard for me.